This is my interviewee, Kate. We're just going to be talking really quick about your study habits and how the library is kind of an environment and how it works for you. So I think the first question I'm going to start with is just how do you when you go to a place to start studying, what is the first things you kind of do?
The first thing I do is look at everything I have to do and kind of set up what I want to get done at this specific spot. And break it down with what's most important when I need to get done right away.
Okay. What do you use to track what you're gonna what you need to do?
Notion to have all my assignments that I need to do and other things I need to do, and I write it all down. And I check them off and I complete them.
Do you think Notion is a good tool to use? How long have you been using it?
Since freshman year of high school.
High school?
Or freshman year of college.
I was gonna say high school's not really that serious.
And I definitely recommend it. I've put a lot of people onto it, actually.
That's very nice. And when you study, what would you say your preferred study spot is?
Steenbach quiet level at a single person desk. It's my go-to because it's super quiet. I have my own outlet. I have a good light source. It's very private.
That's good. Is it so you think you work best when you're alone?
Yes, most definitely.
Do you ever study with other people?
I do, sometimes, but it's always my least productive study session.
Gotcha. Give me a second just to write some things down.
Of course.
Is it just because you're talking with people too much?
Yeah. I get distracted really, really easy.
And wait, let me formulate my question really quick. When you're alone, what are the things that distract you the most?
My phone. Managing the amount of time I spend on it is probably the hardest part.
What measures do you take to avoid going on your phone?
I put do not disturb on, or I'll put it in my backpack, or just somewhere out of sight, so I don't think about it.
Do you think do not disturb is do you think it gets the job done enough to not get notifications?
Not
do you need
enough.
more?
I think I would need more, because I'll just check really easily how many notifications I have.
That's interesting. Do you do anything else to your phone specifically to do you have screen time limits or?
I do on every social media app, but I made my password really easy, so most of the time I just go into it still.
That's interesting. Do you think your phone also distracts you when you're in a group setting?
Yes.
So it's everywhere?
Yeah. But if I'm with people and I have do not disturb on, I'm not going to be checking my notifications as frequently as I would be if I was alone.
Do you think that's because you're just always wondering if someone's trying to reach out to you?
Yep, when I'm alone. For sure. But in a group setting,
Yeah.
since I feel I'm with people, I just have less of a need to check.
gonna shift away from the phone here. Do you find if, let's say, you're having a day where you're feeling good and you aren't going on your phone, what are other things that pull you out of your study session that maybe have to do with the environment rather than personal?
If it's noisy, I can't focus at all. Or if there's people talking, my ears will drift to try to like listen to the conversation instead of studying. I think that's one of the biggest ones for me.
Outside of going to a library, what else do you do to avoid your ears drifting and listening to other people?
Like in a situation where I'm not in a library?
Yeah, so you are like, I don't know, this is kind of unrelated because we're focusing on the library for the most part, but let's say you're in like college library where it's a bit louder, or if you were perchance sitting right there listening to us talking, what would you do to try and ignore it? Would you move? What would your strategy be?
Noise canceling headphones first to see if I can block out the noise that's really bugging me. And usually if I play like some sort of classical music with that works. But if I can hear it through that, then I'll move.
Okay. So do you listen to any other music besides classical music?
That or like brown noise, which used to put me to sleep, but now it helps focus.
That's nice. Would you say the library is like the place you get the best studying done?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say studying at my desk in my room is also like pretty up there for really good places.
Yeah. And is it just the silence that really is what you need?
I think that, and not seeing a lot of like movement.
Movement, okay.
For my eyes to follow and watch too.
Yeah, that's interesting. Give me a second. I'm running out of questions here. Do you use any of the resources besides the quiet spaces that libraries offer?
No, I don't think so.
So I'm guessing that means you don't really find libraries that are mostly like talking spaces, like the main sections of college library, to not be very useful.
No, I find them useful if I'm like collaborating with other people. It's definitely beneficial to have spaces like that. And I know a lot of people can focus with outside noise, but personally, no. If I was gonna study alone, I wouldn't pick one of the main spaces in college.
Yeah. Okay. I guess maybe we should circle back to the phone then, because it does seem like the libraries are providing enough to help you focus, like in a environmental sense of the word.
Yeah.
So you don't, well, I guess I'll just ask really quickly. So you don't think there's anything the libraries are doing wrong that could be improved on?
Not like something that I can think of directly, but I know that there's always room for improvement, especially in like a system.
So when it comes to your phone, have you ever looked into like outside ways of kind of removing it from your person, like either, let's say, locking it away or just leaving it at home or any of that sort of thing?
I have considered the potential idea of doing something like that, but I have not been able to execute that, and I don't know if I will.
And why can't you execute it? Like, what's been stopping you?
Just, I feel like the necessity of having a phone close by, like in case I need to like reach out to someone, if someone needs to reach out to me,
Yeah.
there's an emergency, you need to use it to call quick.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's probably the way a lot of people feel about it.
Yeah.
So you just don't think you could leave your phone at home?
No.
Yeah.
No. And I think I would also just have like the feeling that it's not there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of part of everyday life now.
It really is.
So what about like some sort of, hear me out here, what about like some sort of physical lockbox where it's still on you and you have the capability of getting it out right away if you need, but like it adds another layer of like you have to do something to get it out?
Yeah, I would be interested in something like that because I would take away both the fear that I would need my phone in an instance and just the visual, I think, aid of having that would be beneficial.
Yeah. Can you think of any other things that would maybe help in terms of staying off your phone?
I think if it was harder to see how many notifications you have on Do Not Disturb, that would make it a lot less distracting for me.
Yeah.
And seeing my notifications on my computer too.
Speaking of the computer, have you ever struggled with, even like, let's say you aren't looking at your phone, but getting off task on your computer? Because obviously a computer can do everything and more that a phone does.
Yeah.
But is the fact that it's what you're using to study make it so you don't get off track as much, or?
Wait, restate that question.
Sorry, it might have been confusing. Do you get distracted by your computer? I'll put it like, do you?
Yes, I definitely do. But I feel like in a different way than my phone.
Could you elaborate on that, perchance?
Yes, I feel like because on my computer, like, yes, it can do like the same things that my phone can do, but I can also, I associate it with school and with doing my homework, and I feel kind of an obligation to do that when I'm on my computer. And with my phone, I can't do homework on there at all.
Yeah.
So I have like no choice.
So does that mean it kind of leads to different kinds of distraction, like maybe shorter term distractions?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, what kind of things do you do on your laptop that maybe you don't do on your phone when you're getting off task?
A big thing is like online shopping. Or going through my playlists. And streaming services are a big one that I go on my computer instead of my phone.
Yeah, so like a TV show?
Yeah.
Interesting. So have you caught yourself like watching TV while in the library?
Once, yes.
That's kind of funny. What were you watching?
I think I was watching Naruto.
Must have been something really boring that you had to do.
Yeah, it was not good. And then I like didn't even know what I was doing until I looked at my computer and I was just watching my show.
Yeah. So, do you sometimes use your computer in like downtime to do other things then?
Yes, I definitely do.
One second, let me formulate a question. So, if you use your computer for other things, like I'm assuming TV, shopping, whatever, I don't know. I'm assuming you don't play games on it very much, but
So I have an iPad.
We'll get to that iPad. But do you think if you had a laptop or some sort of device that was strictly for school that you didn't use in downtime, like, do you think of how adults often have like work laptops?
Yeah.
Do you think something like that would help you?
100%. If I had something that was strictly only for that, I think it would be really easy to only do that on that device.
Is there a reason you don't use like the laptops you can check out from Memorial Library or any of the libraries around here?
Well, because I've had this computer for so long and it's mine, and I guess I wouldn't see the reasoning for me to have two computers when this one does everything I need it to do.
So, you mentioned an iPad. Do you also use that for schoolwork?
I used to use it for schoolwork because it's really good to take notes on. But now it's only used for other things.
Do you think if you like kind of put in the effort to do the things you do on your laptop, like watch shows and online shop on your iPad instead, do you think that would help you focus more on your laptop when you're trying to work?
I think it would, definitely.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. So, would you say your main distractions are people and like getting off task on your devices?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
And that's obviously why you choose the library to study.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you go to the library?
Twice a week. But when finals come around, it'll be like every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess I've also observed that a lot of people, like I'll see people come in to a space to study and then they get out all their stuff and then they'll immediately go on their phone.
Yeah.
So I think, at least from what I've observed, it seems like the library is doing its job, but maybe we've added too much technology to really...
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
I can't imagine what it was like when people would just come in here and like do worksheets and,
and only have like books.
and only books and like write papers on paper.
I actually can't imagine that, but I miss it.
It must have been so easy to focus.
Right?
Well, I think that's all I really have to ask you for today. Thank you for talking to me. Sorry to distract you from your work.